I'm really excited to be here to tell you about a project, not some projects, but a project that's quite transformational. And let me just see if this. Ah, okay. Can you see? Okay, there's a bit of a delay in the slides, but we can work with that. Um, so this is a transformational project that was brought about through an organization called Evergreen, and we're a national non-for-profit in the business of transforming public spaces in our cities. Of course, with the ambition to create a healthier future for people and planet. My experience with Evergreen has been very extensive, and it's been in the field of working with school communities across the country to make their spaces, their school grounds, better places in their communities. We've had over 30 years of experience doing this, and as you can see through the statistics, we've worked with many, many school communities and created some flourishing, definitely flourishing moments with each of them. We've had lots of contact with students and done a lot of professional development and awarded many schools across the country grants over a 16-year period. So I really want to give you a sense of, or maybe do a deep dive here into our latest transformational project, which is Canada's first climate ready school. And this is Irma Colson in Milton, Ontario. It's a kind of a groundbreaking, pardon the pun, pilot project. So you can see the before picture. You're dealing with a very vast, barren landscape that's mostly turf field with a few trees around the edge that actually hadn't grown very much in about 9 years. And this, the soil on this site is very compacted and obviously not really providing a diversity of activity, not really serving the students or the natural environment in the area. The below picture is the after picture, and I'm going to take you on a little fly through of the landscape in a little bit. So really what we're hoping for, our ambition is to have multiple sites across the country, have regional representation, because what we find is that school boards actually are the second or third largest landowners in our cities. And this provides a great opportunity for enhancement of public space right in every neighborhood. And here's some of our principles that we came to this project with and have been developing over 30 years. We really believe that children at the center of the process is a critical and important component. Healthy natural systems, so regenerative landscapes that promote health and well-being. An integrated landscape and design, or landscape and program design. So weaving kind of fixed and movable landscape features with dynamic play and learning, and having the program really lead the design. And then a co-creation way of designing is really important. So developing ideas with the community and the children in particular. These are the people who are using the space on a daily basis and are looking for ways to enhance public space in their neighborhoods. And thinking about inclusivity, accessibility, these are really important and very paramount in the work that we do. Some of the components of this pilot project came from our long history of working with schools and building trusted relationships with school boards across the country. But again, at the center is this child-friendly participatory process. Community design workshops, school ground design and construction was a huge component, of course, driving this full school ground transformation. Building capacity with educators and also with facility staff, and then creating a set of somewhat like design guidelines or ways of transferring this kind of work to other school communities in the board and even across the country. Of course, maintenance planning and evaluation was also key. So the community engagement, This project actually happened during COVID. So during the pandemic, we had to really pivot and suddenly have like kind of architecture, like figuring out how to involve the community in authentic ways and really engage in ways that people could access. So we did a lot of fireside chats at different times of day, early morning, midday, and late night. We set up a number of podcasts to help inform the community about what was happening. The school had a website that featured all of this work so that you could cruise that information whenever you had time to. We also did a lot of training of the teachers in child-friendly practice, child-friendly participatory design practice. And so they actually brought all of this knowledge and in participation to each classroom. And there's 1,100 students at this school. So it was quite a task. We also, in the building and design and thinking of the site, we're thinking about how it can absorb water, how it can be heat adaptive. And we were working with a landscape architect from Germany who's been rolling out this Berlin sponge school strategy across Berlin. And so this again was like very key to us in our rollout of the project. There's so here's the master plan, and it's about a 4-acre site, so it's quite a transformation. I'm going to take you on a little journey through the site. So this is post-construction, and so we have a lot of the children's ideas are embedded in the design and have come to fruition. So a tunnel, an amphitheater for performance and dramatic play. We have sand and water play, which you don't see in Canadian school grounds. This is a first. Edge walls, which are actually made from recycled materials or reclaimed materials from other school projects across the district. And this created kind of a nice aesthetic and kind of a whimsical way of creating fun and play. And kids were using these walls in different ways. So we were really excited to work with a talented mason. And this was, again, our approach is to work with local craftspeople to help bring the space to life. Climbing was a huge need and want by the children. So we engaged with a company that gave us this amazing parkour and very, very popular. And we also had this interesting approach to having rest and seating across the site. So these are little decks and they can be for seating or cloud watching or just dramatic play, and they're all over the site. I think we ended up building 15 of these across the site. And we also ended up bringing a guide, like a how to build these with high school students so that they could build them in other school projects across the district. Topography, of course, is very important. Accessibility was a key design driver. So having different ways to access the play equipment for children of differing abilities was really at the fore. So I wanted to share a bit of the impact with you. So we did a triple bottom line return on investment analysis. And basically for every dollar invested, you get a $2 return. And so the impact on children, environment, and community was quite significant. For children, it really aids in their development, fosters a loving connection to the natural world, builds their sense of literacy, not only for their development and their social skills, but their ecological literacy, reduces stormwater. So the impact here was quite significant, like 100% permeability. It moderates heat island effect. Of course, we planted 46 new trees in clusters. And so this is I guess in a 40-year period, we're going to have quite a canopy cover here and have quite a cooling effect. And in the community, it's really, again, the children and the parents are calling it a park. They're not calling it a school ground anymore. So that's really, I think, a big win for the project. And when you don't have students lining up at your principal's office anymore during recess or after school, I think that's a pretty big win too. So for for the capacity building for other districts and to sort of spread the word, we have built a resource hub. And here you'll find toolkits and how-to guides and case studies and like deep conversations with some of the most significant stakeholders in this project, particularly the senior facilities manager who does a great job in the videos, and he did a nice interview that really gets at the heart of the importance and value of this project. I just wanted to share a little bit of inspiration and expertise. I mean, our work is doesn't stand alone on an island. We are part of the International School Grounds Alliance. We were co-founders of that alliance, and that's a global network of people who are really leading the charge on child-friendly spaces and particularly school grounds. Of course, the Van Leer Foundation and Urban 95. So some of these you can check out, but I also wanted to share these guides, and the free to play guide from Play Scotland is just incredible on accessibility. And of course the Green Blue School Grounds in Rotterdam, they are like incredible for early years and thinking about getting that early start and that connection to nature. So thank you very much. And here's a URL for you if you wanted to check out the pilot, check out more about climate ready schools, and hopefully we'll be coming to Halifax. That's my dream. Thank you very much.